What's up, guys? Mr. Freecoiner coming back to you again today. I hope everybody's doing well and you're taking care of yourselves. Now, of course, I want to go ahead and say I'm not a financial analyst. I'm simply sharing my thoughts and opinions. So please only take it as that. Now, guys, something that totally boggles the mind is it just is kind of amazing. But the volumes are actually up. Okay, yesterday I was attempting to make a video, but my day at work just was, it was just too much and I was not in the mood. So anyway, looking at the volumes yesterday, lower than they are now, yet we have dropped about 2 cents since then. I don't get it. Maybe I'm just not understanding the correlation between the price and the volumes. But either way, that's beside the point. It really doesn't matter to me. Again, I've mentioned many times, I don't care about the price right now. I'm not going to say that I will never care about the price. But at this particular time, I don't care that it's lower because it gives us a chance to buy. Right? Those of us who understand what's going on, what's going to happen with XRP, and you're not getting scared out of the market. All of this stuff that's going on, we know the FUD that's being released is simply to shake us out. And a lot of people are being shaken out of XRP right now as we speak. I'm sure even more people sold once they saw it drop. And I got to be honest with you, myself, I had to come to terms with the fact that this could very well be a long-term investment. All right. I don't think that is the case. But as I mentioned before, you really have to set your expectations so you don't become anxious and then ultimately frustrated, which will cause you to end up selling your investment. XRP is the one. All right, this is Neo we're dealing with here. But all in all, guys, we're gonna have to really just get it in our heads that we're here for the long run. Those of us who are not being shaken. I know I've seen tons of tweets already. People just, running away. They're very emotional and completely understandable. But as many people say, you cannot allow your emotions to run you as it relates to this market. So, or just any type of investment, you cannot allow your emotions to get involved, because once your emotions get involved, you've pretty much lost at that point. Now, I know I have made plenty of bad investments, but this one right here, because honestly, this is like being given a second chance for everyone who has lost tons of money or lost any money with Bitcoin, with the high up scams and all of that stuff. This is the reckoning here. This is a way to recoup that and just reclaim everything you lost. I mean, everything plus. That's the way I look at it. And I'm going to hang on to this investment until the cows come home. So, hey, that's where I am. And I know a lot of you guys are there, are at that level too. So, all right, enough of my yapping. Let's move on. Ripple XRP down 7.3% to November 17 levels, rally in the making. Could very well be. I mean, we are approaching May. There was some things. There were some things pointing towards May. Who knows? The fact of the matter is, us in this community, we've been faked out so many times when it comes to price and all this. I'm just going to say, you know what? If it happens, it happens. But in the meantime, my sights are definitely not set on May at all. I mean, I would love for something wonderful to happen at that particular time, but hey, going off past experience, it's not likely. At some point, I fully believe it will, but I'm just not going to set my sights on May by any means. And of course, this is all TA, so I don't necessarily want to get into this. Just interesting topic there. All right, so here I found it pretty interesting that this guy, man, he invested $130 million in Bitcoin when it was at $19,000. Wow. I mean, this had to hurt. Oh my gosh. And I think just reading this article, it kind of sounds like he may have sold his Bitcoin. Now, guys, anybody, if any of you don't already understand, which I'm I'm sure you guys already do, but you do not lose your investment until, or you don't lose money, I'll say, until you actually sell out. So if you're down, best thing not, if you're not maybe moving to another investment, or say you had a couple Bitcoin, you bought it like $10,000 or more, and you're still sitting on 50% of your original investment, and you want to move that over to XRP or something. Totally understandable. I mean, again, I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't say what you should or shouldn't do, but that's something that's understandable. You still have not sold out. Okay. Once you convert to fiat, that's a loss right there. So, anyway, that's kind of the way I look at it. But it sounds like he has made a couple different bad investments. Here it says in the mid-1990s, SoftBank went on a U.S. acquisition spree, buying companies including computer magazine publisher Ziff Davis for $2.1 billion and semiconductor maker Kingston Technology for $1.5 billion. It sold both groups at a significant loss 3 years later. So I'm really going over this just to remind everyone that we all make bad choices. I mean, and sometimes those choices can cost us dearly, but it's not the end of the world. There's always a chance to redeem yourself and recoup the things that you lost. Those of us who are not billionaires, it is a bit harder for us to kind of catch up again or replace things that are lost. But as long as you are still here, you can always recoup. There's always a way. Just don't give up. So that's my lesson for this evening. Let's move on. All right. So Hodl, IMF now declaring war on cash after negative interest rate proposals. So this is kind of concerning right here, but at the same time, I'll go ahead and go over this. The IMF is the latest financial institution to declare war on to declare war on cash. If they succeed, your fiat savings will go up in a poof of zero interest rate policies. This is why crypto. This is why we hodl. And this is so true because, that fiat, even though so many people believe they're safe in this fake money, I mean, really, that's backed by nothing, it can so easily go away. I mean, I've mentioned before, I've seen it, and it can be a very scary proposition. When you have a whole country, when I was in Zimbabwe, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I was speaking to someone who, this guy was actually, I don't know if he was homeless, but he was definitely down. Okay, I don't know if I can't remember if he actually had somewhere to stay, but he looked like a hobo. Okay, and he was actually, I think he was British, to be honest with you, because the British were in Zimbabwe. So anyway, when Zim was actually up back in the 80s, or in there around those times, early 80s, he said that his family, I think he might have been kind of young at the time, but he said his family had several $1 million, Zim dollars. They were rich. I mean, by all intents and purposes at that time, because the Zim dollar was pretty much on par with the dollar, with the U.S. dollar, 1-to-1, pretty much. So he said that they had several million and they were good to go. But what happened as the turmoil kind of progressed over there, and the Zim dollar started to go down, they essentially had nothing within a very short time. If I'm not mistaken, I think he said they had around $5 million. Okay. Now, the last time I was there, I traded $100 and I was getting trillions of Zim dollars. Okay, trillions. When I first went there in 2006, $1 was worth 210,000 of their dollars. So fiat can so easily disappear. It's just not even funny. All right, so the IMF is the latest. I already read that. Where is it? It was. So I'll just read this. The proposal by the IMF is for central banks to split their monetary base into two local currencies, cash. Yeah, this is it. Cash and digital currencies, e-money. The digital currencies would be issued electronically and would have the policy rate of interest. Meanwhile, the paper cash would have an exchange rate against the digital currency. There have been interest from some central banks across the world in developing digital currencies known as CBDC. The central bank issued digital currencies would not work like cryptocurrencies. Instead, they would work like regular fiat currencies, since they would be in the control of the central banks. Reports over the past few months suggest that Sweden's central bank is currently working on developing e-krona, the digital version of its local currency, the krona. There are other countries that are exploiting similar moves, but no one has put together one yet. So yeah, we'll see how this all goes. I think this stuff's already put together. Personally, they're just not telling anyone. I mean, why would they, right? Okay, so anyway, guys, again, let's not get too worried about the price. Everything's going to be okay. Here I am telling you, just kind of consoling everybody. It's going to be okay, believe me. Don't panic. Of course, there are going to be some of you who do. And it's inevitable. But if you can help it, don't panic. Let everything play out. If it isn't something that you just absolutely need, you might want to just kind of sit back and watch. If your investment's kind of just sitting there and simmering, and you don't absolutely need to pull any cash out of it, hey, why not sit back and wait and just wait and see? That's what I'm doing. Anyway, guys, that's all I had to say tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed my thoughts and opinions. If you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the like button and that post notification button so you know I have posted again. Also, comment. Let me know what you think. Let everybody know what you think. That's what this is all about. That's the fun in this social media thing. It is great in that way. In other ways, it's terrible because you got a bunch of dummies out there saying whatever the hell they want to say, and it just doesn't make sense sometimes. But hey, First Amendment right, absolutely cool. Let's keep going. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. This has been Mr. Free Coiner. Take care of yourselves, and God bless.